Depending on what you decided to do, you might have drawn it slightly different than mine, but long story short, it should look something like this. Julie, should you short building first or tall building first?
Tall building.
The reason I ask, or the reason I ask right away is because if you read the entire question, you would obviously see that one building is shorter. It says, from the top of the shorter building. So let's pretend I draw the shorter building here. So this is my building, looking nice. And this building is taller, so it has more windows. Yeah. With me so far? Yeah? From the shorter building, so let's pretend I am right here. The angle of elevation. So right away, I'm looking somewhere. If I'm not looking up or looking down, what direction am I looking? Straight. So you can imagine this is where it is. And you could argue your vision, assuming it's like perfectly level, is parallel to the floor. You can make that assumption. Okay? I'm going to start right there. Question says, 2 apartment buildings are 75 meters apart. The angle of elevation to the top is 40 degrees. What does that mean? So from here, okay, just mentally, you don't have to do this, like, if I see people doing this on a test, it's going to look really, really awkward. But stick your 2 hands out. No, you you don't have to actually do this. But all I'm saying is this is how you can visualize, okay? It's literally Daddy Shark. If you have your 2 hands out and if you're looking up, right? You're not going to be looking for an angle under you. You're going to be looking upwards, right? This is how your mouth would be moving. And so, the angle that your 2 arms are making is the angle of elevation. It's not rocket science, it's just a way to describe what we're doing. So from here, if I'm looking up, that angle that your 2 arms are creating is 40 degrees. And in the same breath, if I'm looking down, angle of depression. So if I'm looking down, right, that wouldn't mean my upper arm or my upper jaw is moving, and my lower jaw will be sort of moving down. And so the angle of depression is that same idea, but downwards, 31 degrees. The question asks, how tall is that building? What's the height? Ideas? Well, yes, of course. So let's identify the triangles first. If we're going to use Sokoto, if we're going to use trig. You want to see it? Got one person? Anyone? Yeah? A couple people? Let me help. Let's first break down where the triangles are, and in doing so, how that helps us calculate the entire height. I'm going to do this once. So all the other questions we do from now on, I expect you to sort of see the triangles on your own, either draw it or keep it in a mental picture in your head. The first triangle is here. You see it? The second triangle is there. And do you see how the 75 serves as the base for both triangles? That's a given. You don't even have to guess this. It's an assumption that is, well, it's not even an assumption, it's a given. It's obviously true, right? These two are parallel. We're going to make the assumption that the buildings are straight. It's not like curved, like it was a bomb or anything, okay? That building, by the way, oh my goodness. Let's keep moving. So from here, how do these 2 triangles help us? Yep.
Well, you have like the angle, and then you have the adjacent side.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do like half.
Ready?
Maybe like so half.
Well, before we even identify which ratio we want to use, what are we trying to get here? Why are we doing all this work for?
Trying to find the altitude of the two triangles and add them together. So we can find the height of the color.
Yeah. So the whole goal was to find the entire height of the building. Well, if we can find a piece of that building, and then also find another piece of that building, then together we find the height of the entire building. So your goal is, let's call this H1 and H2. Okay. Please don't confuse that with hypotenuse. I just labeled it H for height. We have for the first one, tangent of 40 degrees is going to be opposite over adjacent. Which means?
Why did you use tangent?
Pardon?
Why did you use the tangent?
I decided to use a tangent as a review for the previous lesson. If this is the angle that I'm dealing with, that I'm interested in, the opposite side is what we want, and the adjacent side is what we have. So O and A is going to be total. Okay? So, please find me H1. So multiplying both sides by 75, we have this. And someone's going to do that for me because someone stole my calculator. In the flip side, we have tangent of 31 degrees, and that is equal to opposite over adjacent. And once again, multiplying both sides by 75 to get rid of the denominator. 75 multiplied by tan 31 degrees is H2. So
62.93.
the first one, 62.93. So this is going to be in meters, approximately, because I'm sure we rounded. And H2, approximately?
45.06 meters.
0.06 meters. Anyone else want to challenge that? So as a class, I'd like everyone to continue participating so that we can come to the right conclusion. Remember, someone stole my calculator, and I can't do the calculations right now, so I need you to do it for me. Okay? So, if that is the case, what is the total height? Equals H1 plus H2. Finish that off?
107.99.
Right. Approximately. I suppose you could round it if I ask for the maximum height, or just a whole number. If I ask for a tenth, round it. If I ask for a hundredth, round it. But there it is. So again, I hope you understand that the math is the same. It's just a matter of interpreting the question correctly. So don't be tripped up.